Hi, this is Wishop, and this is your weekly reading for Monday, June the 1st through Sunday, June the 7th. So, as I usually do, I want to start with the astrology. There's a lot about it, so I'll just toss it more in as we go. The reason I have the Temperance card up there is because tomorrow we're having a full moon in Sagittarius, and the Temperance card is the one that represents Sagittarius. Now, the moon has just been in Scorpio, and we had last month's full moon in Scorpio. And I think that a lot of people really don't enjoy the moon in Scorpio. I kind of dig it because I like those really deep, intense waters, and I think some people find it doesn't really jive for them. But what I want to say is that if you've experienced through those moon movements in Scorpio a little bit of what almost feels like a relapse from the end of last year with Saturn in Scorpio, it's not really that. It's much shorter, it's much less. And what is really supposed to be happening, I think, is that we're all supposed to see how strong we've gotten. I think what happened was with all the Pluto-Uranus square action going on, that sometimes you were just struggling to stay afloat. And getting through was all that was on your mind. But now, with a little bit of distance, if we introduce those energies again and you start paddling, you go, oh my gosh, look how much stronger I am. I can deal with this so much better than I could. The pains I was feeling are not as strong for me now. You actually get to realize how far you've come by getting just a little taste of those energies again. And then with the full moon in Sagittarius, we move forward. Sagittarius is the oldest and wisest of the fire signs, the most philosophical. His symbol is that arrow, so very pointing high towards the stars, very high-minded. And in the Temperance card, excuse me, we see a different vision of Michael, the angel. He's got the fire symbol on his chest. So instead of having a flaming sword and his foot on the neck of a dragon while he's wearing armor, you see him in a very peaceful sense. He's still the angel of fire, but he's mixing liquid from cup to cup. And he has one foot on the earth and one foot in the water. And in the background of this card, let me hold it. This is the hoi polloi deck, so the color is slightly different than maybe what you're used to in the Rider-Waite. But if I pull it up here, you can see that there's this sun in the background, which actually looks like a crown, and that the background has growing things in it. It's not this parched earth, blasted plain like it's just been hit with a flamethrower. Okay, this is a blending of elements. And so where we have the moon in Sagittarius, we're going to have that watery sense. And then we're also going to have that optimistic, bright, fiery sense. This is really for us a chance for us to put it all together. But what happens right before we put it all together is we experience a moment of pause, right? We've been through so much, and it was a little like the Karate Kid. You know, Daniel-san doesn't realize that he's waxing the car and painting the fence, but he's also learning karate. So you were fighting with your past and dealing with your present and just hoping to cope and didn't know that you were also learning karate. And this is a week to go, oh my God, look at my biceps. I can hold my breath forever now. You know, what is it that you're really good at now that you've learned through this process that you weren't great at before? This is a time to really look at that and go, have appreciation. This week, Venus is going to move into Leo on June 5th, I believe. Venus is very proud in Leo. Her beauty shines. She loves being admired. This is a week for you to admire yourself, realize where you've come, and be very proud about that and realize your strength. And I think that's part of what these little just quick triggers through Scorpio are doing, so that you can realize how far you've come and how strong you've gotten. So the I Ching for the week, I think, is fitting this pause, this little pause, and it's going to be a short one, I think. It's the number 12, stand still. And you can see here's heaven over earth. And the reason why it stands still is because heaven is in heaven and earth is in earth. Nothing is blending. Unlike in the Temperance card where we have the alchemy of all the elements coming together, nothing is blending here. So things are stagnant. It's status quo. This I think of as that pause, that breath right before the fool, takes that step off the cliff. This is where we're looking with new eyes, and everything that we thought we might have wanted last year, probably those plans got thrown out the window. The Pluto-Uranus square came in and set your day planner on fire and said, forget that, we're doing something different. Now you look at your new capacities, the new things you've learned, and you say, what do I want now? And now we're about ready to take this step. If we think of 12 as being the hanged man, as being a stagnant state, and then 13, the death card, the transformational point is right between them. And then we move to temperance, where we're starting to take that bright step forward on the path again. This is really an exciting place to be, where we're digesting everything and we're just at that moment. Are you going to take the leap? Are you not going to take the leap? So I think that's what this card is representing for me. Rather than a continuing state, this is a very momentary breath. Venus is going into Leo. Tomorrow we get the full moon in Sagittarius, and it's going to be off to the races, right? And we're still going to have all that Gemini energy around. So I think this is just a moment of breath. If you're watching this later in the week, that breath may already be over. But let's see what the tarot cards are. Okay, this is the Wildwood deck. Oh, 2 of Vessels, attraction. And 3 of Vessels, joy. And Ace of Stones, the foundation of life. Well, these cards could hardly be more encouraging of brand new beginnings, right? We have the 2 of Vessels with this absolutely gorgeous flaming heart and these cups and this blending of 2 different sort of types of characters we can think of. And it's their very beautiful, harmonious attraction together. And then we move to the 3 of Cups and we get to experience even more joy, even more happy news, even more harmonious blending. And then we look at, those are maybe our feelings or our emotions, and we look at the Ace of Stones and we say, this is not just a new beginning on the inside. There's going to be a new beginning on the outside. The Ace of Stones, the Ace of Pentacles. This is the foundation, the bedrock of something very new. All of this feeling, all of this fire and water together is leading to something very new and practical in your life. It's really exciting point to be at, and I am sorry for the glare, but moving on. The oracle card I pulled for the week is from Cheryl Yambrack Rose's Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle. So let me pull this over here so you can see it. Here it is, and it's, oh look, have hope for the future. New energies are coming in, and it's got the starseed children. And you can see here they are with this very violet energy. And that's really all there is to say, is you're taking a breath. You're realizing how new you are, what a new creation you are from the person perhaps you thought you were, even as recently as late last year. You are different because you've made yourself different. And in that transformation are the seeds of your brand new life. In whatever area you want to make those changes, in whatever area is you're hoping to see transformation, you're making that possible because you're blending all of these elements of yourself, and you have found strength where you didn't know you had it. You've developed it where you didn't know you had it. And through making your weaker areas stronger, now your strengths can be magnified. So I think there's not much more to say than that. I think everything is actually at a really exciting point, and I hope that you will rock on. I hope you will take a very deep breath, and then I hope you make that leap. Have a great week. Talk to you later.